guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. As many of you know, I'm a woman in long-term recovery. I am also a CARC, a CRPA, a rape crisis counselor, and a Narcan trainer. Whew, I'm like sweating to death today. It's like one of the first hot days that we're having, and Frankie is still in terrible news, still giving me a run for my money. So yeah. Look at my description box down below. You will find a link to all my social media, my wish list, which is super important. Right now, I have a few different wish lists going. My priority main one is my go bags. That's what I use to help people in my local area who have just come home from incarceration, come out of rehab, are struggling, who live in the shelter, who are in active addiction, who are homeless, you know, all the things that we go through as a human race. And then my other one is my Mother's Day wish list. And there's a few things left, and I could really use those few things that are left just to complete the baskets. I would greatly appreciate that. And then by request only, I have a harm reduction wish list. I have a harm reduction wish list that is available only by request, just because it's not everybody's cup of tea. I don't post it because I do not, first off, the most main priority, most important reason that I don't post it is because I don't want to trigger anybody. But after that, like I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea, and we are an offensive nation these days, so we don't want to offend anybody as well. Also, you'll find the link to Smacked, which is a documentary that I've been involved with while I was just getting sober and under my maiden name. And then, you know, some other goodies that I've been involved with. I've been on CBS News. I've been in Christian Science Monitor. Just a, you know, little background about me. I'm going to be picking this Friday, which is tomorrow for you guys. I'm going to pick who the winner of the book One Hit Away by Jordan Barnes is, and I will announce it in the community as well. So look for it today after you watch this video, I guess you could say. And yeah, I think that's about it for announcements. Today we are going to talk about your last day in prison. Depends, you know, I guess every state and every place is very, very similar, but extremely different, right? I mean, it is what it is. So for me in New York State, I have left out of Bedford, Albion, Shock, and Willard. The only place I haven't left out of is Taconic, because when I was in Taconic, I transferred to Shock, and then I left for Shock. So places like Willard and Shock, it's pretty standard when you leave. If you have hygiene, you want to leave to see the girls in your platoon, you do. If not, you know, you throw it out or whatever. There is no extras like personalized items or food or whatnot, because those are military boot camp style programs, and there is no extras. There's no goodies, there's no food, there's no nothing. It's just you and your clothing items that go, and your very small amount of hygiene that you are allowed. You leave from regular prison, you got some things. And you know, it's such a sad situation. It's a joyous day because you're leaving prison, but not all of us have families and homes and places to go to. And sometimes, you know, people get mad if you don't leave them your stuff. Like they have a expectation of hand-me-downs, if you will. And, you know, for me, I've always been blessed, except for this last time, to be able to be going back to a home or family or friends. I've seen a lot of girls leave out and not know where they were going or not having a place to go to, especially if they were maxing out and didn't have to worry about where their parole address was. It's really sad, you know. I know for me, when I left Shock this last time, I actually, and I was really blessed, the DIs were so amazing. They knew I was going to a shelter. So the week before I left and we went to State Shop, they made me go into State Shop and get 2 brand new sports bras, 2 brand new pairs of panties, a towel, and a washcloth that were brand new that I was able to take home with me. They packed it out for me and dropped it off in the package room where you leave from. I'll explain that in a second. So, because I didn't know what I was going to have or not have. Sadly, like, these are the things that we go through. So what you do is you're not supposed to, so any type of electronic items, you're not supposed to be able to pass down unless you write to the package room officer and ask permission, and you get permission granted. So like I had a hot pot and a little tiny Walkman, just like an AM FM Walkman, and I had a light and a fan. I'm trying to think what else that I had. So I had these items that I wanted to leave to other people. So about 6 to 8 weeks before I was about to leave, I wrote to the package room sergeant requesting to leave my items to inmate so-and-so. Here's their DIN number, blah, 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 blah. And it's kind of like a honor roll program, if you will. So if I've had no issues in the past with tickets and trouble and whatnot, and neither has the inmate who wants the items, 90% of the time they'll grant the request. Other times they don't, and then they notate it, so they potentially come and shake down your cell to see if you have the person's stuff. Fun times, right? Talk about setup. So a lot of times girls will just be like, I'm gonna just leave this to you. And, you know, we pretty much know what officers you can rock with it and what officers you can't. And when you leave, you just hide your shit in random places throughout the, you know, unit and hope you don't get caught. Like I had a hot pot that didn't have my numbers on it when I was in Taconic this one last time. A friend of mine who I'd known previously was leaving, and she left me her hot pot. So on days that I didn't know what officer we were having, you know, and I was off the unit and they could potentially do a cell search because they started their shift at 3. I came back from program at 3:45. I would take my hot pot and I would go into the rec room and I would put it in the garbage can underneath the garbage bag. And there'd be like headphones in there, Walkmans, curling irons. You know, we all knew what was up. We all knew whose was what. And that's how we would rock, because this last bit, I didn't have money like that. Jared was in prison too. It was just a fucked up situation, you know? We learned what we can and cannot do. So you would do that. You would write and see if you can give your stuff away. And if you could, then you know it was given away. I've seen a lot of girls sell it so they can go home with cigarettes or clothes hygiene products because they're going home to nothing, which is heartbreaking, right? Food you give away, you know, things like your last couple of days there, you'll start to give away your spices and, you know, closed food you're not going to eat or stuff like that. Like you'll keep your bowl with lid in your cup, you know, till the very end, till that morning. And then you'll even give that away. I mean, you literally go through your locker and just give everything away. Food, clothes, hygiene. Oh, hello, Frankie. Hygiene. Let's see. Soap. Ooh, don't hit that, baby. Soap. Sheets, because you can get personal sheets, towels, everything. Like everything you can possibly think of, you bless and leave to somebody else that you know is less fortunate. Like I would rock with the same girls the entire time that I was on the unit and stuff. And when it came time to leaving my stuff, those girls were usually pretty well taken care of. I would go to the girl that had like nobody and nothing, that no one really even spoke to. And I would be like, you want my sheets? You want my slippers? You want my shower shoes? Like, because they're the people that have an extended amount of time to do. You know, they're looking at 5+ and they have nothing, like nothing. I remember every month, like I would get all my soap in and stuff. I would constantly give soap away, constantly. Because I just feel like everyone deserves basic human needs, items that take care of basic human needs, you know, sort of like how I feel now. Like, you treat someone like an asshole, well, you reap what you sow. But if you treat someone like a human being, you get human back. Like, nobody wants to not have deodorant or soap or be able to take care of feminine hygiene needs. Like, nobody wants to feel that way. So I tried my hardest to give to everybody who had nothing. I would literally, you know, I was always really lucky. Unfortunately, fortunately, but unfortunately, I was always really lucky. But the reason why I was really fortunate was because, unfortunately, I had been previously incarcerated a bunch of times. So my last bid, I was sentenced to 3 years. But altogether, I've done between 6 and 7 years inside with all my bids added up, sadly. But we are where we are today because of it, and I am super grateful for that. So, yeah, I mean, you go through all your stuff. you give away your spices, you give away your hygiene. And the crazy part is like you could have a half a tube of toothpaste, and if it's real toothpaste, people want it. Or you can have like your soap dish, or just even like you could have your half a shampoo and people want it, or creamer, half a bag of creamer, somebody is going to want it because they have nothing. Like in prison, hygiene and food are the most sought after, hardest to get at times if you have nothing. And they just make you feel a little more human and, make you feel a little less incarcerated, if you will. Oh my goodness, why are you opening your mouth at me? So, okay, good girl. Okay. Sorry, guys. So, whoa, why don't you turn around and do this so that people could at least see you, not that you're going to fall backward. Say hi, everybody. So you want to be able to have those things so you can feel more like a human being and less like an expunged piece of garbage that was put in a hole. Okay, that's what it comes down to, And, your last day of prison is also, I would say, comparative anxiety-wise with your first day in prison, which sounds crazy to say, but you're so nervous about going back out into the same situation you came from, going back out into the real world, because now you've been in this closed-off box type of situation where you've been able to stay away from certain things. I mean, if you want to get in shit, you can get in shit no matter where you are. I mean, obviously, there's hella drugs in prison. I think the only drug that I haven't seen in prison is like ecstasy. I've seen crack, I've seen coke, I've seen dope, I've seen Suboxone, I've seen weed, I've seen that K2 stuff. Whew, that's a crazy story. So, I mean, if you want to get in shit, you can definitely get in shit. But going back out into the real world after being secluded for so long, and then on top of it, being put into such a demeaning situation where, depending on how much food you have in your locker or how many bars of soap determine your worth, it's a really intimidating day and experience trying to acclimate and become part of reentry back into your society and be a productive member of the community. Like, it's to the point that it's hard and it's scary. And, for women that are in relationships or married or are moms, you have to now try and re-enter back into society. She jumped off my lap, for the people that were making comments last video that I threw my dog. I would never throw my dog. She jumped and she landed on the floor on the rug. Just putting that out there. So, when you have to re-enter society after being gone for 1, 2, 3, 5, 12 plus years, Frankie, of being gone, and then you have to be a mom, a full-time mom again, a full-time wife or girlfriend, or whatever your relationship situation looks like. It's a lot of stress, and it's you're scared, you're worrisome, you're doubtful of who you are and your abilities. Plus, then you have to navigate community supervision, whatever outpatient program they tell you have to go to. 90% of all inmates being released have to get a mental health evaluation. Then you have to try and find and maintain employment. Like, the struggle is real when you first come home. Even drinking a regular cup of coffee is intimidating because it makes you sick. Your bed is too hard, your pillow is too soft. Like, it's just, or vice versa, you know what I mean? Like, there's just all of it. It's just a real crazy time in your life. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. And remember, we recover loudly, so those behind us do not suffer in silence. I hope you guys all have a great weekend. And do not forget to check in the community for the winner of Jordan's book. Bye!